Perhaps a stock that you may also track is Kalyan Jewellers, because a lot of these companies, Kalyan Jewellers, Titans, posted a very strong update for the second quarter. Weddings are back in a big way. Jewelry consumption is back. So let's find out more. The consolidated revenues rose 20% and the India revenues grew 14% year over year. The company also added 5 stores in India, but high competitive intensity has led to a lower gross margin. A quick comment from Ramesh Kalyanaraman, the Executive Director at Kalyan Jewellers, who joins us now. Mr. Kalyanaraman, you know, the Q2 update was very strong. Can you give us the outlook for the second half of the year?
So, as we speak, it is just the beginning of H2, and we are looking forward for a good Q3 initially. Q3, as you know, the base has been very high because last Q3 has been good. And as we speak, we see the footfalls increasing for the festive. The pre-book for the Dhanteras has been strong. So we really look forward for a good Q3. And from the brand side, we have done everything possible. The campaigns have started. The team is geared up. And we really expect the Q3 to be good.
All right, Q3 could be good. But, you know, if we slice and dice your numbers, your India business grew just around 14%, whereas players like Titan actually saw a stronger growth of 18% on a higher base as well. Can you explain what explains that?
Yeah, so India has been good because we also grew by 14-15% in Q2. You saw that in the update. And it is not easy to compare between brands because it depends upon the geographical split of the brand and how it performed in the last year. Was there a pent-up demand more in Q2 of last year, etc.? So it's not a very easy apple-to-apple comparison. But as a brand, we are extremely happy about the outcome of Q2. And Middle East also has performed well. And we really look forward for a good Q3 as well.
Ramesh, you said, actually highlighted heightened levels of competitive intensity, which led to lower gross margins. Where did you see this competition coming from? And what does this mean for margins going ahead?
So competition, yes, it has been there. But now we see good competition from even the organized players in each market. And the competition is becoming more intense day by day. And we, as a brand, we have taken a lot of measures to maintain our margins by increasing our studded ratio, by improving margins in the products which is not easily available in a particular market, etc. But yes, competition intensity is there in the industry, but it has to be there always. And because, you know, competition has been a part in this industry over the past many years.
So what is the target market share that you're looking at in, say, organized jewelry, and by when do you expect to see it in double digits?
Now, again, market share, you know, it depends upon, you know, the availability of the number itself is tough because there is a strong unorganized segment which is playing a vital role in our industry. So what we can tell you is that we, as a brand, in the market where we are, we try to become the top 3 players, one of the top 3 players in the micro markets where we are.
All right, in the markets where you are, that's largely South. So what's your outlook on growth coming in from non-South regions? Because South India had nearly 2/3 of your revenue. What's your target by the end of this year and in the near future?
So our target for the next couple of years, we should make the revenue share between South and non-South in the range of 50-50. That's our target. That's the plan of our Vision 2025. But within 1 year or the next 18 months, the number of stores at least will be in the range of 50-50. That is our target. And the expansion plan is also majorly into the non-South markets because there are vacant markets where we can go and open the stores. South, we are there in almost all the Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. But yes, there are markets in the South as well where we can expand. But our primary focus for the next 2 to 3 years will be to expand in the non-South region.
Okay, Mr. Kalyanaraman, thanks a lot for joining in. So that's a very strong update coming through from the management of Kalyan Jewellers, and they're they're saying the Dhanteras sales have been pretty good. The pre-Dhanteras sales have been pretty good. I'm sure Diwali will be blockbuster for these guys purely because of how the wedding season is shaping up. And all in all, I mean, it's reflecting in the stock price as well.
Although, this is completely, I think, I've not seen the performance, but I don't think it's very good, right, since listing the Kalyan jeweler stock.
In the last 3 months, it's up 50%, but since
it's made up,
listing, I'm
some.
not too sure, Let's, in fact, pose that question to Deven. Deven, any thoughts? Titan, Kalyan Jewelers, Mangalam had done a very interesting piece about the valuation gap that still exists between the two players, and we all know about it. But where does the risk-reward look more favourable now?
So, Sonia, I think the understanding is very clear that out here, these companies are trying to register their presence pan-India. And probably, I think that is the investment phase, as I call it as. Coming out from Southern Belt and I think expanding into the other areas of the country, probably initial years, I think they would be struggling with higher amount of, I think, cost, etc., which would get reflected into margins and which we continuously observe in the quarter result of this company as well. But going forward, I think if the presence is getting created pan-India with a very strong endorsement that they have, I guess I could think that I think they would have reasonably good chance from here onwards to, I think, register themselves as first three brands, I think, as they're talking about. If that does happen, then possibly, I think the valuation gap that you're talking about, I think, could get breached. But however, as I always believe that I think these are the companies where I think the seasonality factor plays a big role. I think if you are buying on Dhanteras, then probably I think you end up selling, I think, on Dhuleti. So I think in this 6 months' time, I think you end up, I think, playing around in this kind of a stock. Long-term prospects, I think, remain strong from demand point of view, but I think the margins, I think one will have to progress, I think, as the quarter goes by. I think we need to see how exactly the margin progresses.
Right.
So at this point of time, I think our focus stays more on the other areas of consumption vis-a-vis jewelry. So I think we would probably concentrate there as well.
You take that point, Deven, and just to talk about how Kalyan Jewellers has performed. Their IPO was 87 odd rupees, and now the stock is at 97 after having rallied 53% in the last 3 months. So it has been an underperformer. Is catching up, and as far as valuations with Titan is concerned, it's trading at nearly 1/4 the multiple of Titan itself.
I was also surprised. I remember speaking to them the last time. They said that 50. I always thought of them as a Kerala-based player, but I remember them saying 50% of the sales are outside of. It's from north.
No, 35% is from non-south, 65% is still from south, and they're saying that they're looking to increase
to 50%.
To 50%, at least in the next 12 to 18 months in terms of stores. And non-south is good for them because more diamond jewelry is bought in the non-south regions, whereas south it's just gold. So that should